It's Ranger Russ from the Meigs Nature Center. Very happy to be bringing you another program. These programs happen Tuesday through Friday at 11 o'clock. A quick reminder, tomorrow, 6:30, very special live possums on Facebook Live. It's going to be very exciting. Our friends from Ferncroft are going to bring on their possums right onto our broadcast at 6:30 tomorrow night. You can watch it on Facebook Live. This one I don't think we're going to be able to do on YouTube and Facebook. But please subscribe to our YouTube channel. As soon as I get 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, I will be able to do YouTube mobile. And I'm really excited to try and do some YouTube mobile programs just like we do this Facebook Live. So today the weather, we did have some rain. It looks like it's clearing up a little bit now. Some thunderstorms rolling across Connecticut. It looks like we're going to get some this afternoon. So I sort of changed up the lineup of the program that I was going to do because I was going to be outside. And I thought instead that I would come inside and do a program, a story. So I enjoy this story a lot. And I like telling stories, so this is going to be a fun one. But I want to let everybody know, coming up in October, we're going to be doing some special Saturday programs. They're going to be relating to Native experiences, so Native Americans, how they lived, and different things that they did. So I'm very excited to be bringing those to you. And also, you can look for coming up, I think next week is going to be our first one. We are going to be doing some evening programs. So these are going to have to be special programs that we're going to have to really adjust to the weather. But the first of those programs, we're going to be doing a nighttime insect program. So I'm going to find a spot that I can set up at night with some lights and the camera and see what sort of insects we can find at night. So that one is going to be a lot of fun. You can look for lots more programs coming, so keep an eye out and we'll see if or what we can come up with for future programs. So today's story is actually pretty appropriate for our current climate and our circumstances. So I will tell you the story and then we can talk a little bit about what it means. Okay, so this is the story of the unlucky man. And this man lived in a beautiful small cabin. He had a little farm where he grew some crops and he had some animals. And nothing really happened around his little farm. And he was quite bored. But because of that, he thought that he was just unlucky. He thought he had to be the most unlucky man in the whole world. Well, one day he was visiting his village, and he heard some of the other villagers talking about a wise fisherman that could answer anyone's question, could solve any problem. And this got the unlucky man thinking, if I were to find this wise fisherman, maybe he could tell me how I could become lucky like all the people around me. And so the unlucky man asked the villagers where he could find this wise old fisherman. And they told him, he is a long ways away. That's why no one ever goes to see him. He lives on the other side of the world. Well, the unlucky man was really tired of being unlucky. He thought he would set out and find this wise old fisherman. So he packed up some belongings and he set out. And the days turned into weeks, and the weeks turned into months, and the months turned into a year, and still he traveled on. As he was traveling one day, he came into a small clearing, and he realized that the clearing was surrounded by wolves. Everywhere he looked, there were large, fierce-looking wolves. Well, as the man looked around the clearing, he noticed there was one wolf that was much, much smaller than all the other wolves. And it didn't look as fierce and ferocious as the other wolves. And so he thought that was his escape. And he tried to slip past the skinny, unlucky wolf. But the wolf was faster. And the wolf hopped in front of him and said, "Where do you think you're going?" And the unlucky man told the wolf how he was going to find this wise old fisherman that could answer any question. And the wolf thought for a second and said, "If I let you go, do you promise to ask a question for me and then come back and give me the answer?" "Oh, yes," said the unlucky man. "If you let me go, I'll be sure to ask your question." And so the wolf asked, "Why is it that all the other wolves are big and ferocious, and I am skinny, and nobody is scared of me?" And the unlucky man promised that he would ask the question, and the wolf let him go. And the unlucky man traveled on, and the days became weeks, and the weeks became months, and the months turned into a year, and still the unlucky man traveled on, until he came to a grove of trees, large, beautiful trees, except for one small tree with skinny branches and no leaves. And as the unlucky man rested under this one skinny tree, the tree said, "Looks like you've been traveling a long time. Where is it that you're going?" The unlucky man said, "I'm going to find a wise old fisherman that could answer any question." "Well," said the tree, "do you think you could ask a question for me?" "Of course," said the unlucky man, "I'm going there anyway." And so the tree asked, "Why is it that all the trees around me grow large and tall, and I don't get any bigger?" The unlucky man promised that he would ask the question. And he set out again. And the days turned into weeks, and the weeks turned into months, and the months turned into a year. And as the unlucky man traveled along, he came upon a small blue cottage in the forest, with beautiful flowers planted all around it. And a beautiful maiden came out and asked if he would like to spend the evening in her house, and she would make him a meal. "Oh, that would be wonderful," said the unlucky man. "I've been traveling very far." And so he sat down to a beautiful home-cooked meal. And as they talked, the unlucky man told the woman of his quest to find a fisherman that could answer any question. And the young woman said, "I have a question, if you wouldn't mind asking. I wonder why it is that I am so lonely here in my little cottage." The unlucky man said, "Oh, of course I will ask." And the next day he set out. And the days turned into weeks, and the weeks turned into months, and the months into a year. And finally, the unlucky man came to the shore of a large sea. And as he circled the shore, he saw a very old man sitting on a rock fishing. And as he approached this fisherman, the fisherman turned and said, "I know who you are and why you have come." And the unlucky man was very surprised. "So you know that I am the unluckiest man in the world?" "No," said the fisherman. "You are not unlucky. You find luck everywhere you go. You just do not see it. Open your eyes and look at the good around you, and you will find that you are a very lucky man." "Oh, that's wonderful," said the unlucky man. "I can't wait to get back to my village. But before I go, I've met some people along the way that would like some questions answered." And the wise old fisherman said, "I know your questions, and I know the answers." And he answered each of the questions. And so the unlucky man set off for his village. And the days turned into weeks, and the weeks turned into months. And finally, after a year, he came upon the blue cottage with the beautiful young woman. And she came out to ask him, "Did you find this wise old fisherman?" "Yes," said the unlucky man. "And I have discovered that the reason you are so lonely is because you're not married. You should find a young man and marry him, and then you will be very happy." "That's a good idea," said the young maiden. "Do you think you would like to marry me and move into my cottage?" "Oh no," said the unlucky man. "I have to find my luck. I need to get back to my village. But if I find a nice young man, I will make sure to send him back, and you can marry him." And so the unlucky man set off. And the days turned into weeks, and the weeks turned into months. And finally, after another year, the unlucky man came upon the grove of trees. And he went right to the skinny little tree in the center of the grove. And he said, "I found the wise old fisherman, and he told me why it is that you can't grow big and tall and get thick branches and strong leaves like the other trees. You have a treasure chest beneath your roots, and it keeps your roots from growing deep and your branches from growing tall." "Oh, that's wonderful news," said the tree. "It just so happens that some workmen left a shovel nearby. If you dig this treasure chest out from my roots, you can take the treasure within." "Oh no," said the unlucky man. "I need to get home and find my luck. But if I find a strong young man, I will send him back to dig the treasure out from your roots." And so the unlucky man set off again. And the days turned into weeks, the weeks turned into months, and the months into a year. And finally, the unlucky man came upon the grove, the clearing, where the wolves were. And he found the one skinny wolf. And he told the wolf, "I have found the fisherman that could answer any question. And he told me, in order for you to grow big and fierce like the other wolves, you need to find a wandering, dumb animal and eat it." And so the wolf did. So, I always enjoy that story. I feel like it's very appropriate in this time. My staff person that works here, Emily, suggested that it really fits with what we're going through right now. We really need to look at the world in a more positive way and notice the good that is around us. This unlucky man, I always loved it. I told this story around a campfire, and when I was done with the story, there was a pause. And a little boy, he tentatively raised his hand, and I said, "Yep." And because we always talk about the morals after the story, and the little boy says, "He wasn't unlucky, he was just stupid." And I kind of feel like that's pretty accurate. We need to look at the world in a better way. And sometimes we're pretty ignorant if we don't see the world in the better light. And my light just went off for some reason. Thought I lost power, but I didn't. Okay, so let's see. We've got excellent message. Very good story. Hello from Niantic. Great story. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. I have a few more of these stories to come. And one of our evening programs coming up is going to be storytelling, and we're going to actually do it at a campfire. So I can't wait to do that one. I'll probably do a few stories, probably some of the ones that you've already heard, but we'll try and do some different stories as well. But I'll do several stories at storytelling. I want to let everybody know that if you visit our website, meigspointnaturecenter.org, not only can you see all of these programs that we've been doing since we had to close the Nature Center, but you will also find lots of other information. We have vocabulary lists, we have word searches, word scrambles, puzzles and mazes, activities, educational things that you can use along with the videos if you want to do some additional education. And also there are links there to other Department of Energy and Environmental Protection facilities. You can see things from Dinosaur State Park, Goodwin Conservation Center, the Kellogg Environmental Center, No Child Left Inside, No Child Left Behind, No Child Left Inside, Great Park Pursuit, Sky's the Limit. Lots of activities out there, lots of resources that all of the DEEP employees have been putting up. It's lots of great information, so I really encourage you to search those resources out and use them in your classrooms if you're doing home study or if you just want to learn something new. And I always try and learn something new every day, so I do search through their things and I learn a lot from Dinosaur because I don't know a lot about geology and rocks and minerals. If you saw my program yesterday, it's a very basic knowledge. So they have some great videos from Dinosaur that can teach you about dinosaurs for one, but also the geology of Connecticut. So let's see. Seek and you will find. Yes. Very good words to go by for the day. All right, so I hope everyone continues to enjoy these programs. They will happen Tuesday through Friday at 11 o'clock. And look out for additional programs. If I encounter something out there in the world, I'll go live and try and share that with you as well. So until tomorrow at 11, this is Ranger Russ signing off from the Meigs Point Nature Center.